Hi guys, my name is Wexi and I'm a raider in Meta. Today we're going to be having a look back at the Sanctum of Domination and reviewing both the tier itself and how we performed during it. So let's start with talking a bit about the raid itself. Sanctum of Domination is located in the Tower of the Damned, everyone's favorite target. So their designs are kinda similar visually, and if you have as many characters as I do, then you're kind of sick of that place, so that's definitely a minus I think. But bosses in this raid are a complete different thing. Almost all of them had really great potential in theory, but also most of them, especially those in the second half, got really undertuned or didn't even have their mechanic work the way that would make them a great encounter. For example, Guardian, a good example of undertuned boss. It could be a great DPS check wall. It has almost no random mechanics. Just do big damn, kind of boss everyone likes, but in reality it was so undertuned that DPS wasn't an issue there at all. And since mechanically fight is very simple, boss was dying in a span of few pulls for W's, despite being one of the later bosses. Other biggest disappointment of the raid was Fatescribe and his rune mechanic. For the release, Fatescribe looked like a boss that required crazy level of awareness from players. Perfect communication in the raid team, but in reality it was a complete opposite. In that fight you had to turn circles in a certain amount of time and place them in a certain position. And depending on how many players standing in it, it will determine which way it's gonna spin. But the way you could actually deal with them was so simple, it's unbelievable. You just start turning all circles at the same time in one way and that's it. It's gonna be enough, almost no communication, no awareness, just dodge some balls and walk straight. Potentially one of the greatest mechanics ever got utterly destroyed. But there's probably too much stuff to talk about bosses, so let's move on. So for me, and probably for most of other trials, this was the very first time to experience actual hardcore raiding in the race to world first. And it is a bigger deal than what you could have thought of. Essentially, the biggest difference from just raiding isn't in the game itself, but in the preparation for the race in real life. And with this, Adam has helped us a lot. We only got time for a few sessions with them before the raid here, but each of them were really intense. I honestly think that each of the raiders got their own impact from Adamas in a different way. For me personally, two biggest things that they helped me with, one are some breathing techniques to deal with the stress, and two is a personal nutrition plan. And it really is a big deal. Stress is a common thing in any kind of competition, so having multiple ways to deal with it is always great. And what's more important is that those breathing techniques were really helpful and efficient. And nutrition plan was also a big help as well, because it isn't easy to think of a good meal that's gonna be healthy, tasty, and different every time. So by solving this problem for me, they allowed me to concentrate on the game fully and not waste any time on anything else. Well, regarding in-game preparation though, I think we did a pretty good job. Like, we knew if we actually had to spend time in Quartier to farm sockets or not. We knew what classes are gonna be good in the raid, and our prediction was actually on point. Also, most of our bot strats we had worked out. Like Mass Dispel strat on Ner'zhul or Kel'Thuzad strat, which we knew even before Echo showed theirs, which was very similar to what we had. So overall, our preparation was pretty good, I think. But preparing and actually playing are kinda different things. We did have a goal of achieving 3rd place in the race, but ended up on the 5th one instead. And while it may look like a big difference, in reality, the competition for 3rd place this time was that high that you couldn't really predict placements till the race for it was actually over. So if we would had to answer if it met the expectation the guild set beforehand or not, I would say both yes and no. Because yes, we didn't get 3rd place like we wanted, but it was very close. The competition was really intense during the whole raid tier. So I honestly think that we did a fine job, but we definitely could do better. We got a pretty big lead in the second half of the raid, which we also lost on the very last boss, unfortunately. And there are many reasons to it, like lacking experience in hardcore raiding, being a new team, having bad communication, and many other reasons. The biggest and most impactful change that we could make before the raid though, if we were given the chance, would probably be adding an external healer outside of the raid. The person who would help with healer CDs and watching over our pulls constantly live so he could make changes immediately and in the most efficient way. Other than that, I don't think we could deal with other our problems so easily, so we just need to take time and work on it. Well, to sum up, let's remember the best and worst moments of the tier. The best one would definitely be the Paintsmith kill. The fight itself is very unique and intense. It was very fun to play and prog on it. For sure, one of the best bosses Blizzard ever made, especially for a mid-tier boss. The ending of the boss also looks very epic, being on the edge of wiping, surrounded by incoming spikes. It's always cool when fights end like that. It's also the moment when we got a huge lead in the race to third place too, so it was pretty memorable. The worst moment though would be actually not to find out other guilds killing Sylvanas, which was also very sad moments, but that time when one of our raiders got PC problems, so we had to stop pulling the boss. Unfortunately, it happened at the most horrible timing it could only happen. It was the day when all three guilds, Netted, Pieces and BGGG, could kill Sylvanas at any moment, any pull, any second. So that was the longest and most stressful waiting I've ever had playing this game. And it must have been twice as stressful for the one having those problems too. But yeah, anyway, everything is in the past and only thing we can do and will do is to be better next time. So that's it for our Sanctum of Domination peer review. Thanks for watching, we hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more from me, you can follow me over on twitch.tv/WexiXD and make sure you subscribe to the Meta YouTube channel so you don't miss on any other awesome content we've got planned. See ya!